Morning. It is Tuesday, not sure the date, the 12th. Busy morning in the gym, a lot of things going on. Framers are doing their punch list to hopefully get all the rough ends squared away so we can pass inspection and continue on. John and Jody Rice dropped by. They had a machine of mine that they have moved and have a new gym area and are a little tighter on space, so they brought that back on their way to something they had going on in downtown Nashville, and we were training. The conversation came up, and it's an interesting topic, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it, and I would love to hear from other people what they think. And one of the things is, the response was to a term that people use called faking it until you make it. And we were talking about lifters being fearful and how they respond to certain things, amongst other things. But that was the gist of the conversation. And one of the things, this was something I when we were doing the filming for Jennifer with the SBD video, they interviewed me, and of course there's a mile of footage that no one ever got to see. But one of the things that I was talking about is the mindset of someone like Jennifer, a lifter, that's doing, winning nationals, winning worlds, getting best lifters, breaking world records. And I think people think in those instances, I get asked all the time, were you ever afraid of hurting your knees when you were squatting 1,000 pounds? And honestly, it never occurred to me. Now, does that mean that I wasn't afraid? And if you listen to that excerpt from the SBD video, you're always afraid. There's a certain level of fear and anxiety, unless you're like the guy from Free Solo. And if you've never watched that, I highly recommend it. You won't talk about a guy that has just ice water for veins in his veins. It's just crazy, how that guy can just close the mechanism and focus on what he's doing, and do so with seemingly no fear whatsoever. But I will tell you, I've competed at a high level in different sports, and there's always anxiety, and there's always nervousness, and there's fear, and you learn to embrace it. And I'm not one of these people that believes you fake your way into it. I think what you do is you acquire a skill set and learn how to embrace when things don't feel good. You've heard me say this before, and I know the people in the gym, the people I train with, where you'll watch a video and in your set, it just feels horrendous, and then you watch it and you're like, well, that doesn't look anything like it felt. And that tells us a few things. Well, feelings don't necessarily matter, and you have to learn to embrace the ebb part of training. Anybody can do flow. The ebb part you have to embrace, because it's ultimately going to make you better. You grind through, and you learn in those situations how not to being fearful is not the problem. Being fearful and letting that drive the bus. And that's in those circumstances was where you learn to embrace the fear, embrace the suck and the grind, and learn to use that to channel your focus where you can become successful. Because you're going to fail. There's nobody in the whole wide world that does something at this kind of level and you don't have moments of failure. And it's what you decide to do in those moments that will define what kind of athlete or what kind of person or whatever your endeavor may be. That's going to be a defining moment. So I'm of the firm belief that you do not fake it. You learn and you acquire the skills, and you hone those skills on how to embrace your fear and how to channel that fear and anxiety into a positive, and that it helps you focus. Because I don't think anybody enjoys failing, but it's how you respond to that, and what you learn from that. You know, and I'm not one of these people that think you got to fail a lot though to be successful. I think learning how to win is a learned skill. And so these are the types of things that I think about in the mindset of an athlete, especially as it pertains to the sports that we coach and train and participate in. So I'd be interested in what your thoughts are on that. Are you faking it until you make it, or are you acquiring the skills and building the skill set to become an elite level lifter or a national or to simply be better? So I'd be interested in your thoughts and appreciate you sharing that. All right, everybody, have a good day.